It's time to do what must be done. Be a king when kingdom comes. So you can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man.
Hey, what is up guys, Tover here, bringing you another high-level Halo Wars commentary today. We're going to be playing on Repository against AOW No Mercy and Extract, and they will be running Cutter RB, and I will be with Pursue all day, and we too will be running Cutter RB like pretty much every other video. I guess if there's any matchups, specific matchups you want to see me upload, if you're struggling with a combo or something, I guess you can just write it down in the comments, and I guess I can try to get a good game with certain combos, and I can show you how to play certain combos or something, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I have a little bit of time to talk in this video. It's basically going to be, this game's going to start out with your pretty standard Cutter RB mirror, where I'm playing defense, and I think they're probably going to end up playing defense as well, so it's going to be one of those pretty boring beginning of the game type things where both teams just sit back for a little bit and then eventually do stuff. But as you can tell by the title, it's going to turn out to be lots of stuff happening because this is going to be another base trade game. But I'll get back into the game a little bit when things start actually happening, because if you saw my last repository video, I'm basically going to be doing the same exact build. So basically another eco build, if you didn't know. So for those of you that watched my last video, the Don't Call It a Comeback video, well, I guess if you could watch it, because I left my little intro to the video in too long, so it actually got claimed by whoever made the song. I think it was like an LL Cool J song. So I got a copyright claim, so I guess because that way they can put ads on the video and they get to just claim the ad money, because if you didn't know, I don't put ads on any of these videos. But if you see that video and there's an ad on it, well, have no fear, I am getting none of that money. It's going all to the LL Cool J or whatever. So that's interesting. But they made it so you can watch it on mobile, and I'm pretty sure that's because YouTube takes all the mobile money from people. Then YouTube takes mobile views, and they only give their creators the desktop views. So that's why I guess they made it disabled for mobile, because they basically claimed my video to be theirs, which it's all kind of stupid. But I'm not going to go through the process of re-uploading it and all that stuff unless it's really a big deal, and I don't think it is. You can just watch it on a laptop or something if you really want to watch it, and I'd recommend it. It was a pretty good game for those of you that did watch it. So yeah, I'm gonna try not to let that happen again. I think I let the clip in for like 31 seconds or something, and I think you can leave it in for up to 30 or something, but I try to make sure this one was a little bit shorter for the music wise. So hopefully this one doesn't get claimed. If it does and I notice it early, I might have re-upload this, but hopefully I shouldn't have any problems with it. So something else I want to get into was I actually hit 300 subs. I have like 303 subs or something. I just checked before this video, and that's pretty crazy for Halo Wars videos when the game's 5 years old. Even with the talk of Halo Wars 2 coming out, I have like 300 subs, but I average more like 400 or 500 views a video, and it's just pretty crazy. I mean, I don't know. It's just cool to think about having like 300 people took the time to click subscribe on my channel. They took that effort out of the day, and 300 people is actually quite a lot when you think of it. My high school class was like 320 or 350 people, and when I actually was a salutatorian of the class, so I made a speech. Oh, I actually made a speech in front of like 4,000 people, but that was including the audience. But even just making a speech for my high school graduation, and looking at the 300 or so people of my fellow classmates, that's a lot of people. So I just like to, I guess, thank you for subbing, and hope you enjoy your stay in Halo Wars videos. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to keep making 2 or 3 videos a week, whatever I can get around to, and just try to keep putting out some decent videos if I can. So also another thing I like to address in this video would be the Twitch thing. A couple videos ago, I asked you guys if you want me to stream on Twitch, and I plan on doing that whenever I get a chance. We actually changed routers at my house recently because my last one, the router I've been using for the last couple of years at my house has been was overheating because it's so hot, and my router's in the garage because that's what the Insight people or whoever installed it claimed decided was the best spot for the router. So it's in the garage, and it pretty much overheated because of how hot it's been this summer where I am. So we had to get a new router, and it's actually pretty crappy. It's a lot worse than the last one, so we have to get some people out here again. But whenever I get some decent internet back, I'll try to stream on Twitch a little bit. And like I said, I'll do like a little announcement video. And I actually there's like a little thing on Twitch. I check mark the box, and it basically puts a little annotation in my videos, in all my videos. Like if someone's randomly watching my video next week and I happen to go live, Twitch will put a little annotation on my video saying, this YouTuber is live on Twitch right now. Click here to go to it. So that's pretty interesting, I guess. But I'll upload a video too, I guess, whenever I go live on Twitch. The quality for the first one or first couple streams might not be the best. Well, the video quality will be decent, but I don't really have a mic hooked up to my computer. I don't do it'll probably sound just like I am right now, so I hope that's good enough audio quality for you guys. Yeah, so whenever I get better internet, I'll be streaming on Twitch a little bit maybe, and I'll see how it goes and see how long I want to stick with that. Okay, so I guess now since we're about 6.5 minutes into the video, I can finally start to get back into it. So what you've been watching on the screen is basically a Pursue win over. Extrax is their UNSC, and he was delaying his 7th building on his main forever for whatever reason. And I during the game, I thought he was going to go for a candy down tech because of how long he was doing a delay on his main for his tech 3. But Pursue eventually ended up going on offense because we realized both RBs are on defense, and there's no point of both sitting on defense the entire time. So Pursue ran up there and had like $1,100, and he was going to rage down that entire 750 candy reactor, but Extrax ended up DQing it. So he so he had to DQ it, but he eventually got his reactor up on its other base, it looks like, and as you could just saw, Pursue got grunted a little bit and stuck, and then 3 tanks candied him, but they all missed. So Pursue still has a decent amount of health, but I'm probably still going to end up having to drop a heal on him, but it's not too big of a deal because I'm pretty sure I've been clicking up on Extrax's pads this game, and my eco is like a super eco. I have 7 or 8 heavies, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. I can drop a heal and still double pump without any problems. He had more tanks than me because he did less of an eco build, but as many of you know, and I've said many times, Defender's advantage on this map is pretty good. So we'll be able to just sit back for a little while and let this Defenders kick in if they try to do a push. And another problem with them having tank lead is I actually thought they were going to be coming up, and I actually didn't want to go to the middle because of their tank advantage, and I'm like, they're just gonna win in the middle if we go there, especially if they get the Sentinel, because I'm assuming they're going to the middle to get their AOW, their RB some money, the middle money, because that's a ton of money and puts your RB really far ahead. So I'm like, we should just sit back and just keep our advantage on defense, but we're actually throwing away a little bit of advantage because we find out later that they're just not even going to clear the middle, and I actually do think they clear the middle, but yeah, they did, because you can see a Sentinel right there. But yeah, since we sat back instead of going for the middle and contesting them, they got a bunch of middle money, and Pursue didn't get. Their RB just got a big lead, not a big lead, but he definitely has a nice little advantage because of all the money, because Extrax pretty much just cleared him the middle money and the side base, and maybe even the other side base. So all together, that's 1,000 or more resources. But we scouted that Extrax was going to be pushing onto my base, so I just am sitting here ready for them to come up, just waiting. I'm about to get a 7th tank out of my main, and literally just sitting here waiting. Got 8 tanks, 8 candy tanks. I'm almost full pop. So I'm thinking about getting into power turret. Yeah, I think they did clear that other base. So right now I don't think they're actually gonna push like we initially thought, because they saw that we had it scouted. Instead, we're going to find out in a little bit that AOW took that Expo down at the bottom, which is going to allow him to start double pumping Vamps and get an air lead, which will put us even further behind. So where I don't know, we not contesting at middle pretty much ended up being a bad thing about this game, because it's just they got, if we had any advantage at the beginning, we just lost it because all that eco in the middle. And I think now they're scouting where our vampires are. It's just sometimes this game and high level games, both teams just sit back for pretty much forever until one team decides to push. And normally the people that push are the ones that end up kind of getting screwed. It's just kind of how it is in this game. So I'm going to be down attacking Power Turret. I'm not really worried about them coming up and macking or anything, because we have so many tanks and we have air on defense that they're not going to get back there to be able to poke it down with Vamps and mack it down. So there we get to see the base and Tech 2 RB, and he has about 6 Power Turret and I have about 9 Canny right now. So I'd rather be in my spot right now because compared to Extracts, because I have all these heavies on. I have a bunch of heavies. I have full pop basically. I'm getting a barracks up already. I'd rather have the 3 extra tanks and Power Turret halfway up than the Power Turret already finished trying to push up and it having 9 tanks compared to like the 6. So this is the first like real engagement of the game. They're coming up. I saw that Vampire drop, so I dropped a Mac Blast. I knew the RB was here, and I got a decent Mac Blast. Their RB, AOW tried to be a hero, and if you remember my last video on Repo, Arbiters, don't be a hero. He got insta-candied, which, I don't know. I just love insta-candying Arbiters with tanks. It's so much fun. I mean, it's just like, no, I'm gonna go in and kill everything, and then they just die, and then the tanks had to pull back, and Extracts had to drop a D-bomb, and it didn't even kill. I don't even think our RB was in the D-bomb. He just threw like a panic D-bomb that did like nothing. Yeah, I see on the minimap, Pursuit's RB isn't even near that D-bomb. So it was complete panic on Extract's part. And now not only did he waste money on a D-bomb, but we have an air engagement on defense with my tank sitting under the air engagement, and we have more Vamps, even though they have a double. So we're looking pretty right here, because we won air by a lot. We have we probably have even. I have probably even or more tanks than him. I definitely have more Spartans than him. I believe. I have like maybe 1 in a tank already, or I might not have any yet in tanks. But my eco is so good that I can continue double pumping tanks and single pumping Spartans and just be in a good spot. So I'm gonna be. I know I gotta drop this base down here, or else AOW will be able to get Vamp. Go back to even with the vampires. And but then I realized, wow, Extracts actually has a decent amount of tanks down here. My tanks are still trying to roll down to the fight. They already got their RB remade and recalled to that base by the time we got down there. And I don't know why their tanks are running. Oh, they're coming back. So Pursuit tells me to raging with vampires. I'm like, oh, I guess I'll drop a D-bomb. And he was really mad at me dropping this D-bomb. It was really a stupid D-bomb, especially because they have more tanks, even though there's like 3 red bars. But it's mostly because AOW ran out of money, and I dropped the D-bomb. He was raging air, which who really cares at that point? He's raging vampires. But now, because I threw a D-bomb, we're basically, I have to run away after I threw my D-bomb. And Extracts has more tanks than me down at the bottom. He has 5 at the bottom, and I have 2. So I don't know how that really happened. And Pursuit was really mad at me too, because he said, because there were 3 red bar tanks down there, but I didn't throw that D-bomb, he probably could have killed all those tanks, and I could have sat down here and just killed the base or helped them with the tanks or whatever. But luckily, Extracts is randomly running away for a second here. And so he's running away, which gives me like an opportunity to go to the back of this outpost base. And I don't want to canny it, because I want to end up I might have cannied it. I'm an idiot. Actually, I don't think I did. I think I cannied a tank that ran to the back or something. I don't know. But I want to kill this base, which I successfully do. And I want to canny a tank. I can maybe pick off that red bar tank. Yep, and maybe canny another tank if I'm paying attention. Oh, I'm just bad. I'm just not gonna use my cannies. So yeah, I just suck. So I'm really good at this game. but at least I got the base kill, and that's what really matters. We got the base kill, we have our RB out, we have Spartans, and I can drop a heal, and I'm still nearing full pop, 24 out of 30. So we're okay now. The tank lead really isn't too much, and we basically are the ones that now get to decide what we want to do. If we want to go on offense, or if we want to just sit back, and clearly we're going to decide, hey, we should just push because I'm like full pop. So Pursue knows that we want to push, and we just like a lot of times on this map. This is probably the most predominant map for base trades. We are like, oh, no, time to base trade, or at least push. And if they're not defending, it's going to be a base trade. And if they are defending, it's going to be another just stupid little engagement. So Pursue's going to try to take that base, and a Vampire scouted it. So they know what's going on. They know Pursue took the base on that side. It probably would have been better to take the base on this side, because we're assuming the tanks are going to roll around to his main, and that's exactly where I see an RB on the map right now. So when I saw that RB right there, I'm like, oh, we can go push on his main base right now, because I don't think he's shielded right now. So we just have an opportunity to push on his base, especially if the tanks aren't on defense. I think his tanks right now are just kind of sitting by that expo that Pursue just lost. It wasn't really built up. It was like an outpost. I don't know if it finished or not. But I see no tanks up here, and I see an RB, and I'm like, LOL, time to insta-candy him. And he got insta-candied. So, once again, Arbiters, don't be a hero, unless you really can kill the stuff. So, I still don't know where their tanks are at this point, exactly during the game. So, I'm like, oh, I want to kill this base, and I'm even going to mac the base, because I don't see their tanks on offense yet. And they're not defending me, so I'm like, well, he might be coming back on defense, which would be an absolutely terrible decision, because I already dropped their Cubby base, and I haven't lost any tanks, and I'll have my candies back by the time that he'd get back here. But now I finally see that Extracts is going for the base trade, and I think Pursue actually shielded here, so it's going to take, not only are we a base ahead, but we have a shield. We have a shield. So they have to take the time to drop the shield, and we're already a base ahead. And I'm going to try to kill this tank coming out, but all my candies are going to miss. So that's amazing. So that was just a bunch of wasted candy. So now I'm going to drop 2 pads off this fortress base and then aim main. I don't know exactly what is the best way. Like, you think by now I'd know, or someone would like officially tested the best way to, how many pads to kill in a base trade and all that stuff. But I really don't know. I think it all ends up being about the same. So I'm just going to kill 2 pads and aim main. It's going to drop pretty quickly with only 5 pads on it. I'm going to sell my barracks because I have all my Spartans out. I have Neural Implant, and I'm taking a base already. But the main reason I sold that barracks was because that barracks was going to do me nothing, and I knew my supply pack could get up by the time that my main base dropped. And I'm not sure that supply pack's going to pay off. That might not have been the best decision, actually. But I'm like, well, it's a base trade. I'm gonna need all the money I can get, and if I can get a supply pad up for just a little bit of time, and then be able to sell some pads. I don't know if I ended up selling pads before my bases died this game. That's what you should do if I didn't do it. But I want every bit of money for the base trade, because you can actually lose games on base trades by simply running out of money and not having enough money to buy a base. So I already have their main base dead, and they are just now rolling up on mine. So we're still a full base ahead in the base trade. I actually think Pursue told me that we don't have air lead, but at this point, air lead is pretty irrelevant in the game, because we still have an Arbiter, and Pursue has a shielded Citadel down there. And not only does he have a shielded Citadel, but I have the time, because I'm a base ahead, to go down and defend that shielded Citadel. So if he goes down there and tries to fight me, not only will he be fighting next to our base, but he'll be fighting our RB and my tanks, and like he'll just be fighting everything, and it won't go well for him. So I decided to split. I knew they were going to be taking this base down here, so I split 1 tank off to go canny it. It was only an outpost, and for some reason AOW just sold the base, and I don't think he sold us supply pads, so that's good stuff, I guess. But so we have our Cubby in the base trade is super far ahead. Pursue is because I just dropped this base and we have a shielded Citadel. So we're down here. We're just waiting we're waiting to see what kind of move they want to make. Because if they want to go up and try to start killing our bases and like swing around, then we'll just continue to push through and kill their bases, because we're still a full Citadel ahead. And if they want to come down and engage us, then we're fine with that too, because we have like 4 bases up on the map. Mine are just now getting like supply pads and all that stuff up. But since I'm full pop, I'm really not in any rush to get back into building tanks. So I can just build a bunch of supply pads, get a reactor, and start getting a bunch of heavies, and be able to pump tanks whenever I need it. So now we see that they are, in fact, going for continuing the base trade. So Extrax turned all the way around from my main base to go stop Pursue's base that was just building up there, instead of going down and trying to engage us at the Citadel base. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to take the base over here now and split my tanks up 4 and 5 or 5 and 5 or something. I'm going to kill the UNSC base and the Covey base while they're working on killing my 2 UNSC bases. So we basically have them on nothing right now, because I don't know what their money situation is looking like, but we're looking fine. Extrax took that base on the way, so just like the Covey base, I think I'm going to end up sending 1 tank down there and just really being annoying. I'm pretty sure Extrax is pretty much all uniting his tanks around, which not the best in a base trade. So by splitting off 1 tank twice to go kill their new bases that have 0, 1, or 2 pads on them, it just lets me get pretty quick base kills. I'm going to get a canny out before the pad finishes. It just lets us get quick little base kills while we get to build our bases up, and they have to constantly be wasting money, because that's $500 or $600 down the drain every single time they build a new base and a supply pad on it, while we get to keep our base because Extrax either doesn't have enough. Well, he's full pop tanks, but he doesn't have enough tanks. He's just not splitting his tanks up to try to drop our bases. So I'm going to drop that, and then we're going to have the engagement finally. He has enough money for a D-bomb. So he obviously had a decent amount of money. So Pursue's going to end up losing his Arby, but since they ended up having to canny his Arby, I get to canny tanks while he had to canny the Arby, and he has like 2 or 3 weak tanks that I get to easily pick off. And since I just dropped 2 of Extrax's bases, he dropped 2 of mine too, but I have 2 up already again, which I'm just now building on. But I still have all my Spartans. It looks like he has 2 Spartan tanks left, but it's like a 5-on-4 tank engagement, but it was 3 Spartans against 2 Spartan tanks. And I have Neural. I don't know if Extrax had Neural this game. But as you can see they're early. But I won the tank engagement, and at this point it really doesn't matter because we have a Citadel Covey base. So that's something Pursuit did, just to predict the future a little bit on this game and know that he needs to get the base up and the shield up, and it just basically won us the game because we were always ahead Covey-wise. So thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.